Hi, everyone. This month on LLC, we're going to be diving into failure. Failure happens to all of us. It's not if, it's when, and it will happen. And so we're going to be talking about some of the things that we've gone through to help you when you fail to know that you're not alone and you will get out of this. One of the things that happened to me back in the 90s, I feel like it's one of my biggest failures was I used very poor judgment. I was young and I was new in the business, and my business was pretty successful, except that I just didn't have some of the things that I needed. I didn't really have the capital. It was a one-woman shop, and I was doing okay and I was having fun. But I was approached by one of the dispatchers on one of the carriers that I used all the time, who told me that he was leaving his company and he thought it would be a great idea to become my partner. And so after several conversations, I trusted him because I had worked with him for a couple of years. He came in, he bought computers, which I had not had up until then. It wasn't a TMS system, it was accounting. So it was just to do the billing and receiving funds, but it kept all of the records, which was awesome to me. I thought that was great. Well, he came in and he brought business. We just formed this partnership. I took him to the bank, had him put on the checking account. He was a signer. But one day I came into work after about 6 months. And I walked in and I could tell immediately that something was wrong. All the computers were gone except the one on my desk. And his son had been working for us, and he was actually doing the invoicing and all of the accounting for us. So his office was empty. His son's office was empty. My desk had a computer on it, but the computer was empty. It turned on, but it was completely blank. And I didn't know what happened. And I tried to call him and he wouldn't answer the phone. And to make a long story short, he had actually gotten into the checkbook and took a check and went to the bank and withdrew all the money out of the bank account. And I trusted him so much. I just couldn't believe that this had happened. But I brought my CPA over. He tried to get the information back on the computers, but they knew what they were doing. They had wiped it completely clean. So in the process of all of this, he had also been doing business under another name, but setting the carriers up under my company name. So then after all of that, I started getting invoices or I started getting bills from carriers, but I didn't have any revenue to back it up. I didn't have any loads to back it up. So the man had actually even been booking loads under a different name, and I was left to be responsible for paying the carriers. And so when I went to the bank, they told me there was nothing they could do about it because he was a signer on the account. I called the police. They said because I had taken him as a partner, he could do, and he had actually bought the computers himself. There was really nothing I could do. So it was devastating. It took me a while to get out of it. It was a horrible year. It's probably one of the worst years of my career. But I will tell you, I stuck with it. I wanted to quit. I wanted to close the doors. But my friends, I had some good friends and family that says, don't give up. You can get through this. And sure enough, I did. It took me a while, but I've got all my carriers paid, and I learned a very valuable lesson. So there's a lot more to that story, but that gives you an idea of what kinds of things that can happen if you don't do your due diligence and you don't check out the people that you're doing business with. And so that taught me a very valuable lesson. So I hope you'll join us on April the 28th, noon Eastern Standard Time, because we're going to go into this a lot more, and we really want to get your feedback, and we're here to help all of you. So we look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye.